Welcome back to the thrilling sequel of our journey through NFL history. In this installment, we'll continue our quest to uncover the top 10 NFL running backs of all time. Strap in as we dive deeper into the incredible careers, jaw-dropping stats, and legendary moments of these gridiron giants. From record-breaking rushes to unforgettable touchdowns, we're about to explore the cream of the crop in NFL running back history. So, let's not waste another moment and kick off this exciting countdown. 10. Tony Dorsett, Dallas Cowboys. Number 10 on our list is none other than Tony Dorsett, a star for the Dallas Cowboys. Imagine a running back with lightning speed and moves that would leave defenders in the dust. That was Tony Dorsett. He wasn't just good, he was legendary. During his time with the Dallas Cowboys, Dorsett ran for a jaw-dropping 12,000-plus yards. That's like running the length of a football field more than 40 times. His skills were so impressive that he earned a spot in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. That's like the ultimate honor for a football player. But it's not just about numbers and records. Dorsett played a vital role in the Cowboys' glory days in the late 70s and early 80s. Think of him as the secret weapon that helped the team achieve greatness. He's one of those players who will forever be remembered as one of the best in the history of the game. Tony Dorsett, a name etched in football history. 9. Frank Gore, San Francisco 49ers. Frank Gore was a rock for the San Francisco 49ers. He played for them for most of his career, and he was like the team's go-to guy. You could always count on him, no matter what. In fact, he's the 49ers' top rusher of all time. That's a big deal. What made Gore so special? Well, he was tough as nails. When the going got tough on the field, he'd just keep running and pushing through. It didn't matter how hard it got. He never gave up. And his work ethic, it was off the charts. He worked harder than anyone, day in and day out. By the time he hung up his cleats, he had more than 15,000 rushing yards under his belt. That's like running the length of a football field more than 50 times. It's no wonder he's considered one of the most dependable running backs in NFL history. 8. Eric Dickerson, Los Angeles Rams. In the late 70s and early 80s, the Los Angeles Rams had a secret weapon. Eric Dickerson. This guy was like a bulldozer on the football field, plowing through defenses like they were made of paper. But the real magic happened in 1984. That year, Eric did something that no one thought was possible. He ran a jaw-dropping 2,105 yards in a single season. Yeah, you read that right, 2,105 yards. It's a record that's still unbroken even today. It's like he had rocket boosters in his cleats. Now, let me paint you a picture of how he did it. Eric running with his back straight up like he's defying gravity. And when he hit the gas, oh boy, he was gone. It was like watching a cheetah chase down its prey. Eric Dickerson wasn't just a football player, he was a legend. His impact on the game was like a hurricane. You couldn't ignore it. So next time you hear someone talk about the Rams, don't forget to tip your hat to the guy who made the record books his playground, Eric Dickerson. 7. Adrian Peterson, Minnesota Vikings. Adrian Peterson, a.k.a. All Day is basically a football superhero. He's crazy fast, incredibly strong, and has some ninja-like moves that make him impossible to catch. That's why he's one of the scariest running backs around. In 2012, Peterson came so close to smashing Eric Dickerson's record for the most rushing yards in a single season. He missed it by just 8 measly yards. Can you believe that? He bulldozed his way to 2,097 yards that year. And guess what? He's still rocking it, even after a whole decade of playing in the NFL. Age is just a number to him. He's like the Benjamin Button of football, getting better with time. So if you want to see a real-life football legend in action, keep an eye out for Adrian Peterson. He's not just a player, he's a force of nature on that field. 6. Jim Brown, Cleveland Browns. Jim Brown, a true legend, shines brightly in the annals of American sports history. Although he spent just 9 seasons in the NFL, his influence knows no bounds. For 8 seasons, he sprinted his way to the top of the rushing yards chart, ultimately becoming the all-time rushing leader before hanging up his cleats. What made Jim extraordinary was his unique mix of speed, raw power, and a deep understanding of football. He wasn't just fast, he was lightning on 2 legs. His power was Herculean, leaving opponents bewildered and grasping at thin air. But what set him apart was his football IQ. an uncanny ability to read the game like a chess grandmaster. Jim Brown wasn't just a player. He was a living, breathing blueprint for all future running backs. His legacy is etched in every juke, every tackle-breaking run, and every touchdown. So the next time you see a running back tear down the field, remember, they're all chasing the ghost of Jim Brown. 5. LaDainian Tomlinson, San Diego Chargers. LaDainian Tomlinson, or simply LT, was a San Diego Chargers legend. He wasn't just your ordinary running back. He was a touchdown machine. In one remarkable season, LT wowed everyone by scoring an astonishing 31 touchdowns. What's unique about this is that those touchdowns included both him running the ball into the end zone and catching passes for touchdowns. This record still amazes football fans today. LT was like the engine of the Chargers offense. He worked tirelessly, carrying the team on his back, and he was unforgettable on the field. When you watched LT play, you knew you were witnessing something special. He had a knack for making the impossible look easy, and his lightning-fast moves left defenders in the dust. So, when you think of the Chargers, you can't help but think of LaDainian Tomlinson, a player whose remarkable skills and unmatched passion made him a true football hero. 4. Marshall Faulk, Indianapolis Colts. All right, folks, let's talk about the legendary Marshall Faulk, the guy who could do it all on the football field. Picture this, he played for the Indianapolis Colts and later rocked the St. Louis Rams jersey. What made him stand out? Well, it's his mad skills as a running back. First, he could run like the wind. No one could catch this guy when he got the ball. But that's not all. Faulk had hands like glue. He caught passes like a wide receiver, which was pretty unusual for a running back at the time. Imagine a running back being a threat both on the ground and through the air. That was Marshall Faulk. Faulk changed the game. He showed everyone that running backs could be versatile, explosive playmakers, not just ground pounders. He made defenses sweat because they never knew if he was going to run them over or zip past them for a touchdown. So remember the name, Marshall Faulk. He's the guy who redefined what it means to be a running back in the NFL. 3. Barry Sanders, Detroit Lions. Barry Sanders, a legendary player for the Detroit Lions, was like a football wizard. Picture this. When he had the football, it was as if he could spin, twist, and change course on a whim. His extraordinary skill to pivot and stay steady made him one of the trickiest runners in NFL history. Even though he spent most of his career on teams that faced tough times, he racked up an impressive 15,000 plus rushing yards, leaving fans completely amazed by his jaw-dropping runs. Barry Sanders, with his magical moves, could juke past defenders like it was nothing. It was like watching a master at work. He had this incredible knack for making defenders miss with his lightning-quick cuts and dazzling footwork. And the best part, he did it all with a style that was uniquely his own. When you think of Barry Sanders, think of those breathtaking moments when he weaved through defenders like they were standing still. He wasn't just a football player, he was a magician on the field, and his highlight reel runs are forever etched in the hearts of NFL fans. 2. Walter Payton, Chicago Bears. Walter Payton, the Chicago Bears star player, was nicknamed Sweetness for good reason. He wasn't just a regular running back, he was a complete package. He had the strength to bulldoze through tacklers and the nimbleness to dance around them like it was a game of tag. Fans loved him not just for his jaw-dropping skills, but also for his unwavering dedication and his ability to lead both on and off the field. Walter Payton's legacy is etched in NFL history. With an impressive 16,726 career rushing yards, he proved that his excellence was here to stay. It's like he had a never-ending supply of talent. So if you ever find yourself watching old Bears games, keep an eye out for Sweetness. He's the kind of player who keeps you glued to the screen, making plays that seem almost magical. Walter Payton truly was one of the NFL's all-time greats, and his legend lives on. 1. Emmitt Smith, Dallas Cowboys. At the very top of our NFL running back Hall of Fame stands Emmitt Smith, who wore the legendary Dallas Cowboys jersey. Now, why is he the kingpin? Well, let me break it down for you. 18,355 rushing yards. Yes, you heard that right. right, Emmitt Smith bulldozed his way to become the #1 rusher in NFL history. It's like he had a GPS in his head, finding the perfect path through the chaos on the field. What makes him a legend isn't just the numbers, though. It's his reliability and toughness. This guy was like a rock. He hardly ever missed a game. And when the stakes were high, he thrived. Think of him as the clutch player you want in your corner. Now, let's talk about football smarts. Smith had an IQ that was off the charts. He could read the game like a book, predicting moves before they happened. That's some next-level vision right there. So, in a nutshell, Emmitt Smith is the undisputed king of NFL running backs. He's got the yards, the durability, the clutch factor, and the football genius to back it up. That's why he's our numero uno. While our list of the greatest running backs of all time may be complete, the story of football greatness doesn't end there. Now let's take a thrilling detour to celebrate two extraordinary athletes who didn't just play the game. They painted masterpieces on the canvas of sports history, Bo Jackson and Curtis Martin. These two names might not always be the first to roll off the tip of your tongue when discussing sports legends, but they absolutely should be. Bo Jackson. Let's start our journey with a man who was quite literally a force of nature on the field. Bo Jackson. Imagine a superhuman blend of power and speed, a player so versatile he could send shivers down the spine of any opponent, whether it was on the baseball diamond or the football gridiron. Bo Jackson was a living testament to the idea that humans could defy the laws of nature. He was a two-sport superstar, something that's rarer than a shooting star on a cloudy night. Bo's baseball career was a thing of beauty. He swung the bat with the grace of a seasoned ballet dancer and the power of a charging rhino. His time with the Kansas City Royals and later with the Chicago White Sox showcased a level of athleticism that most can only dream of. And if you're thinking, but what about football? Hold on to your helmets, folks. Bo Jackson in the NFL was like a thunderstorm crashing into a football field. With the Los Angeles Raiders, he bulldozed through defenses, leaving would-be tacklers grasping at thin air. His highlight reel is a treasure trove of jaw-dropping moments, unforgettable runs that still make the hair stand up on the back of your neck. Bo Jackson could have been a Hall of Famer in both baseball and football if not for a cruel twist of fate, a hip injury that prematurely ended his career. But even that couldn't dim the star that was Bo Jackson. Curtis Martin. Now, shift your focus to Curtis Martin, a man who might not have had the flashiest style, but boy did he get the job done. Martin was the definition of consistency and dedication. He ran like a metronome, churning out yardage and touchdowns year after year. Curtis Martin was a football workhorse, and when he played, it was like watching poetry in motion. He had this uncanny ability to find holes in the defense that seemed invisible to others. Watching him carry the football was like watching an artist paint a masterpiece. Each step, a brushstroke of brilliance, each touchdown, a stroke of his footballing brush. But here's the thing that truly sets Curtis Martin apart. His heart. He was a man of immense character, both on and off the field. The NFL has seen its fair share of flashy personalities and headline-grabbing antics. But Curtis Martin's humility and dedication were a breath of fresh air. He was a leader, a role model, a true ambassador for the game. In a world that often celebrates the loudest and the flashiest, Bo Jackson and Curtis Martin remind us that there's beauty in the quiet, powerful determination of athletes who let their actions do the talking. They might be honorable mentions, but in our hearts, they are legends who continue to inspire the young and the old, reminding us that sports is not just about winning, it's about the passion, the dedication, and the undying love for the game. And that's all for today's episode. We hope you enjoyed reminiscing about these legendary players. Now, we want to hear from you. Who's your all-time favorite running back? Share your pick in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss out on more exciting sports content. Stay tuned for more football fun.